This is the first video I've ever made about the cartels. Now, there's a whole bunch going on in Mexico right now. We'll see where that leads, but there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in Mexico right now. It's a fluid situation. Nobody knows where this is going to go. But this is this is the most up-to-date information that I could find about the conflicts going on in Mexico. So please bear with me. It's hard to gather information. And if you stick around till the end of the video, I'm going to tell you about my personal experience with the cartel whenever I was a crook. Because we dealt with them. They have a presence. I mean, they're around. You know that they're around. So just bear with me. And at the end, I'll give you my take. Mexico has been absolutely rocked by violence this year. Ever since the pandemic happened, things have gotten worse and worse and worse. Well, recently there has been a string of fire bombings and murders that has been happening, not just at the bordering states, but all up and down the place. There is basically running conflicts all across Mexico. The first video that I have here is of a firebombing of a store. It looks like a mercado or maybe like a grocery store or something like that. So hold on, let's check that out. It's bad. This is a record number of homicides in many places, and it seems to be that certain cartels are pushing into other people really hard. This new generation, Jalisco New Generation Cartel, is pushing really hard into the state of Guanajuato, which is run by the Santa Rosa, I believe, Santa Rosa de Lima cartel, who are mostly oil thieves. There's been a lot of retaliation. There's been a lot of back and forth. But so I looked into these guys. I looked into what just happened. There was a murder of about, I think, 12 people or something like that in the city of Celaya. I believe that's how you say it, Celaya, Guanajuato State. And whenever I look into it, it seems to be been carried out by the New Generation Cartel in retaliation for a murder that had happened at a hotel a couple months ago. Now, the next video that we have here is actually a hijacking. This is a hijacking of a big rig.
Maniobra brusca detectada.
Ok, acá, mételo. Dale, dale, güey. Dale, dale. Dios, a madre, Dale, dale. Directamente se va a negra. Y ya nada más, ándale.
It looks to have been carried out by the New Generation Jalisco Cartel. I could have gotten that wrong. I'm sorry if I did. You can see right here. There we go. Bam. They got him. They're giving it up. They said, yeah, take it. Boom. They just shot out the thing. Okay, yep, you can have it. Take it. It's all you, big dog. Yeah. Masks on. Safety first. You don't want to get the virus. Yeah, wipe the window down. Yeah, we want to look good. There we go. Bam. And we're off. That's a smooth heist right there. Real talk. The leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel is a man named El Mencho. There is a $10 million US dollars reward for this man. There has been for years, and information does not seem to be forthcoming. I don't think we're going to be seeing much of that anytime soon. Mexico, in many ways, is becoming weary of the cartels and their actions and the crime. And in general, this is really holding the country back. I mean, on the international stage, at this point in time, the Sinaloa cartel is considered the most powerful criminal organization in the world, have the farthest reach. And they don't know what to do about this, but I know that the country knows that they're being held back. The rest of the world is making, strides into the future, and they are not, right? They are devolving. Their country is devolving into chaos. There is running conflicts across the country. I mean, there's no denying that this is a country at war with itself in one way or another. And the state seems almost powerless to do anything. They just don't know what to do. This is a bad situation that doesn't seem to be getting worse, or seem to be getting better anytime soon. The cartel in Colorado acted like a giant supplier of drugs. They didn't act like a gang. They didn't act like the movies. They didn't black Suburbans. They didn't. Or something like that. It'd have like some little nice boots or something, you know what I mean? Maybe a little gold chain, but nothing flashy. Nothing anything more than the rest of the Mexicans are wearing, right? So this is that cartel, cartoonish, the black Suburbans and all that. Maybe in Mexico they do that, but not here in Colorado. They don't do that shit. From what I seen, they didn't have like an active gangbanging presence. They weren't worried about us gangbanging or any of the shit that we were doing. They weren't even trying to press us. They really just wanted to supply us dope. And they didn't show up. It wasn't like they showed up and said, oh, you're only going to sell our dope. And it's not even like that. Not at all. They were businessmen, And another thing, they put all these names to the cartels. I'll tell you what, I've dealt with several cartel members. I couldn't tell you what cartel they're from. Because you don't ask. Nobody asks whenever you meet. You don't even mention that. You don't talk about cartel this or cartel that or any of that. They just have a duffel bag full of methamphetamine. It's a Mexican dude who doesn't speak English with a duffel bag full of methamphetamine. And you know what time it is. And everybody in the room acts real respectful, right? So whenever I was dealing with these fools, what it was is I was actually a booster. And I was stealing. I had created a system and had multiple people stealing with me. And I was able to steal massive amounts of different products, different things. I'm not going to go into it. Maybe I'll go into it someday, but right now it's not appropriate. And I would steal massive amounts of products. And I would steal so much, I'd go steal $8,000 or $9,000 worth of merchandise. That's like resale value, like $8,000 or $9,000 resale value. So really, I'm stealing, $20,000 in a day or something like that. And it got to where my people, my plug, my dope dealer, whoever, and I'd run around the hood, sell as much of it as I could, bring the rest to the plug, right? And there was a time whenever they just couldn't even, they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough dope. He'd be like, I can't even afford this. I couldn't afford to buy all this if I wanted to, whatever the situation was, right? So they had to start bringing me. He's like, I'm just going to bring you to the dude because they want this. He called his dude. He called the cartel dude. Now, there was never like, oh, this dude's cartel. It's not like that. It's weird that whenever they put that label and they put everything, it wasn't even like that. Nobody, I mean, you just knew who the fuck people were. When you walk in the garage and there's a duffel bag full of methamphetamine and you drag all your, like $10,000 worth of stolen shit in there, you know what time it is. I don't know what fucking cartel he was from. I don't know anything. I don't know what the fuck but I know that if I'd have crossed him, it'd have been a bad situation. Now, as far as crossing him's concerned, I've never burned one of them. I couldn't tell you. I know I had a friend who was sleeping with one of their wives, and I think he ended up stealing some shit out of her house, maybe robbed a stash spot or something like that. And that fool had a hit on him for a while. He was able to duck the hit for long enough. He was living a fast life, and he was able to duck it for long enough that I think it ended up getting squashed in the long run. Because I think it was more seen like it was kind of her fault. Why the fuck was she fucking this dude? You know, which happens to everybody. Don't ever let them think it happened to Jeff Bezos. It'll happen to cartel members. That motherfucker's wife was fucking around too. And there's always somebody willing to do it. Don't matter how dangerous it is to be sleeping with her. There's always somebody who will do it. So, but I personally have never crossed one. I never crossed one of them. Never wanted to. I wanted to be in good with the dudes. You know what I mean? I was trying to be straight with the dudes. So, that is what I know about the cartel.